CSI program. We are just a few hours into the program, and we have already some exciting news. We've had over $15,000 in donations in the past couple hours, with one of those being our largest single donation that came in for $5,000. So we were really excited about that. But during this 30 hours of giving, we are interviewing nonprofit organizations to talk a little bit about what their mission is and how the money that they receive from fundraising like Give SI supports their mission. We have Nathan Colombo with us today. And Nathan, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Michelle. And my apologies if I sound a little croupy. I've got that seasonal bug that everybody's getting to share these days. So
well, Nathan, that's okay. I almost just choked a second ago, so I had to grab my water. But thank you so much for joining us. Can you tell us a little bit about your organization and what your mission is?
Absolutely. So the organization that I work with here in Carbondale is the Center for Empowerment and Justice, located at 213 North Washington Street. The organization was founded hard to believe, just a little over 6 years ago by longtime civil rights attorney Jim Chapman and Reverend Sidney Logwood. These gentlemen came together to create a place that would be there to help anybody that needed to develop personal and economic empowerment that may be facing a myriad of issues, but specifically when Jim and Reverend Logwood founded the organization, they were focused on helping folks returning from incarceration. Since the founding of the organization, our mission has expanded so much beyond what that initial vision was. Just over a year ago, in August of 2021, we lost our founder, Jim Chapman, at the age of, I want to say, 92. So, it is work that this man was dedicated to through the course of his life and up until his final days. Now we find ourselves really as a social needs clearinghouse for anybody that may need help in any sort of way, whether that is help finding housing, whether that is help feeding and clothing themselves, whether that is help engaging in a social and interactive environment where they may not be provided these things otherwise in their typical day-to-day. We really focus on the need of the individual that walks through our door. One of the most important things about our organization is its physical accessibility. We're very lucky to have the space that we do at 213 North Washington Street here in Carbondale. And that physical space really allows us to be accessible for folks to come to us or to reach out to folks who may not be able to immediately access us, but are within what I'd say arm's reach for the services and assistance that we can provide for folks.
And Nathan, you mentioned that the office home location is in Carbondale, Illinois. Is that the only community that you serve?
No. So the Center for Empowerment and Justice is really a Southern Illinois wide organization that has found itself working on initiatives from Harrisburg to southernmost Illinois, to helping folks with placement that may reach in a multi-state area based off of what resources are available, what we can provide, and what we can help folks access, right? So as a relatively small organization that operates on just a little over $1,500 a month, we don't really have the monetary resources to provide direct support outside of the hands-on help that our staff of volunteers can provide. But what we're able to do is network. What we're able to do is help legitimize the issue that folks are facing. What we're able to do is interface with the ecosystem of nonprofits throughout Southern Illinois and the greater multi-state region here in the Midwest and find a solution if we can't be the ones that provide it. Just the same, if folks that are part of this nonprofit ecosystem of service throughout Southern Illinois find themselves with clients that they may struggle to serve, we often find ourselves as a place of near last resort for folks that can handle things like folks that may be experiencing addiction, or folks that may be experiencing really less than favorable odds, what I call street level issues, right? Folks that just are there and they need help, but maybe they don't know what's accessible to them, or maybe they've been told before that something isn't accessible to them, and they just need somebody to be there with them, hold their hand, and guide them through a process that gets them adequate resources that really fulfills that empowerment component of the Center for Empowerment and Justice, right? Where people are able to receive some kind of resources and then be able to lift themselves up and become their own personal resource, carrying them through the rest of their lives.
And Nathan, I'm sure there are a lot of stories of how the center has helped help the community and different community members. Would you mind sharing a few of those, just to give maybe a unique perspective on what the center is doing?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So one of those things that I want to start off with is folks that have come through in the initial days of the Center for Empowerment and Justice, who were part of a Centerstone program where we were able to directly engage with folks returning from incarceration, provide them a sense and a space for community, and then see what grew from that. We saw everything from tiny house initiatives to renewable energy and welding functions with our Solar Tree program, to some of our most successful folks who actually started businesses and have been successful and notable members in the Southern Illinois community. Like Solomon of Sydney and Solomon's Foods out there over by Murdale with the big yellow food truck, right? Really, Solomon is one of those shining examples of what somebody's able to do to help others once they're able to help themselves, right? So that's just one good example in the early days of the Center for Empowerment and Justice. But a good example of how broad our services are, touches on a story of somebody that I actually got to work with myself personally, who had a mother who had a child in a local school system here around Southern Illinois, who was left by their partner and then unable to meet their immediate needs, and wasn't sure what they were going to do next to make sure that they had safe shelter, to make sure they had food security, to make sure they had the ability to get their children the basic school resources, right? And simply by being there and telling this person, hey, we're here for you, right? And we'll provide whatever you need and whatever we can do physically to help you. This person within just a few weeks was able to find whatever next steps of employment they needed. They were able to find stable housing that they needed. They were able to ensure that their child was still in the school system that was affording them the growth that they needed at the young age. And so really just being able to help anybody that comes through our door with any need, right? It is fulfilling work. Right. And it is work that is produced by a volunteer staff. Right. What has been amazing about the Center for Empowerment and Justice is, for the entirety of its life up to the point of Jim's passing, it was self-funded by Mr. Chapman alone. And then once we have moved into our recent year here of navigating the vision of the Center for Empowerment and Justice without Jim, we've had to work to kind of scrape ends meets together and produce the same level of service that we were able to produce under Jim's guidance. And I'm really impressed by the folks that have had hands-on this project for years now, and really stepped forward in this past year to provide all of the folks that come through our door what they need.
Nathan, how important, you talked a little bit about the funding that you have available every month, but how important is it for initiatives or campaigns like Give SI to provide funding to help you meet needs?
Yeah, absolutely. So Give SI is important to us because it is one of those strategic partnerships that allows us to grow our outreach, to let folks know what exists through us as a resource to those most in need, because you never know who has somebody in their life or who is somebody in your life that needs these resources, right? We have had prominent community members walk through our doors with seemingly impassable issues that they are facing with loved ones and family members, and saying, we're struggling here. Can you help us meet these needs? Right. So beyond just the monetary goal that we may have working with Give SI, it's being able to reach out to folks throughout Southern Illinois and say, hey, do you feel like you have hit an end with trying to receive or achieve resources for those most in need in your life, and you feel like you can't? Come to see us, come to talk with us. We may not be able to make it happen, but there's a good chance that we're going to help you get to that next stage in helping whoever you're trying to help in your life, providing that, again, that empowerment component of the Center for Empowerment and Justice.
And Nathan, I'm sure you can attest that sometimes awareness of organizations that can help are the one thing that make the difference to people who are in need. Just being aware of what services are provided. So thank you so much, Nathan, for joining us. Is there anything else that you'd like to add before we kind of give the shout out to people to make their donation to Center for Empowerment and Justice?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to say thank you to the folks that have worked just over the past couple of months to help keep us alive. I mean, this really is a day-to-day effort where we are trying to figure out where we are going to be able to meet our organizational needs so that we can help meet individual needs. So the folks that have stepped forward in just the past couple of months, even before the Give SI campaign, I want to say thank you to all of you folks out there who have helped us, and to all those who may be considering supporting us. I want to say, please, you will be in good company if you decide to support the Center for Empowerment and Justice, because the folks that we have holding us up right now, they really are pillars of the community, and we thank everybody for being involved.
So if you're ready to make that donation to Center for Empowerment and Justice, please go onto our website at givesi.org and choose the Center for Empowerment and Justice as the nonprofit organization that you'd like to donate to. We also have our phone lines open, so if you're ready to make a donation, we can do that over the phone, and you can call 618-956-9849. Nathan, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much, Michelle. I appreciate it.
Have a terrific afternoon.